and running cost gonna be pretty high. And I feel, and that's why I would like to say, like, India at this point of time is not ready for electric vehicles.
So, sorry for the interruption, but I was deviating from the topic. The topic was like the pros and cons of the electric vehicles and not whether India is ready for adopting the electric vehicles. Based on the topic, I would like to give my views. According to me, the perspective of EV in India is quite bright. The pros which it carries outweighs its cons, and we're also seeing that the government is providing subsidies, and we can, claim road tax exemption for 5 years if we buy electric vehicle. The initial cost might be, but the benefit which is provided in the long run is truly a game changer. And I think that based on my personal research regarding the prospects of EV vehicles in India, I think it's a good step to go for an electric rather than the traditional ICE, which is the internal combustible engine vehicles. So yeah, that's what my initial view. I would like other panel members to give forward their views.
Yeah, Akash, I would actually like to come forward in saying and also add to the point that currently India is one of the countries in the world, and this is just because of the vehicular and industrial pollution that is being caused due to in India. And so basically, the PM 2.5, which is biggest threat for India in health wise, that is the main reason for it is basically the electrical engine, the IC engines that are going on right now. And I think electric vehicles have a very positive impact on the Indians and their health. So I think that is one of the biggest pros for electric vehicles.
So I would like to add something. Basically, if we understand the dynamics of India, India is one of the country with a lot of population. And due to that, the need of vehicles is growing day by day. Everyone is purchasing even a bike, even it is an electric bike or diesel bike or petrol bike, like whatever, or cars. They are like the use is increasing day by day. Everyone is switching to the vehicles. So if we see the growth is increasing, so we have to fulfill the needs of what the government do. See, as the growth of the need of vehicles are growing, we see that there is potential growth in the cost of petrol as well as diesel. So introduction of EVs definitely will help to curb that area, that and diesel consumption would be definitely cut down. And when we talk about EVs, actually it is promoting that cleaner environment, less fuel consumption. Moreover, recently India has signed a MOU with, I guess, with I'm missing out the right, Australia, a MOU with Australia, and it is about actually sourcing some critical minerals which are useful in creating EVs and different smartphones and other devices. So like lithium, cobalt, and other minerals are used for that. So India is preparing ourselves for creating that type of I would say devices and the vehicles. So we are on the way of creating that basis or foundation. Eventually, will turn into that to like most we will cover that part being our country is running on electricity. But first of all, creating that foundation and basic is important. Become one of the leading in for other countries to be a country which is running through the more cleaner and saving those moreover if we say if we are switching towards EV, we are also actually saving us from importing oils and fuels from other countries. So that is also a positive point towards.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But we should also not forget about the consequences of blindly trusting the EV process which the company is following. There are certain instances where the EV vehicles have catched quite many of them in the news. So the company should also consideration the recent grave situation, and they should also inculcate the best production so that this kind of situations does to agree with you, Akriti, regarding the rising prices of petrol. And we are also, witnessing the grave geopolitical situation in the country regarding the war between Russia and Ukraine, and that is responsible for prices. So yeah, India should certainly depend on renewable methods of energy, and EV is only one of them because it is a motor that doesn't need petrol or diesel. Is on this particular matter.
One issue that I see with the EVs right now in India is that they're priced considerably higher than their IC versions. So basically, if I was that I made, I for my family had to wheeler, and we went on to check out every two-wheeler that is available on the market. And the thing is, we were able to the was a household name in India right now, and everyone knows about it. It was considerably cheaper than any of the electrical versions like Ather, Ola, or even the TVS Activa, TVS Jupiter, the electric version that is in the market right now. The cost was considerably higher, and I think that is something that affects the consumers a lot in India, and so, like that for electric vehicles in India right now.
Yeah, Devan, but don't think that recently India has discovered one of the biggest mines of lithium in Jammu and Kashmir. And considering that lithium is one of the critical component in the manufacturing lithium batteries, it can bring down the prices in the long term because many investments are flowing towards the EV production process, and India can certainly do well in this front. Don't you think that?
I don't know. So the thing is that the lithium deposits that you talk about in Jammu and Kashmir, it is a considerable finding. But the thing is that Jammu and Kashmir right now is a very volatile place, and we do not even know that if the lithium that is inside that we found in JNK can be enriched and converted into the lithium that is currently used inside the batteries. So that is a very big speculation and a very much an unknown. So we are not I don't think that we can take decisions with respect to that. And
Okay,
also the yeah.
Even and Akash, I would like to add more points over this. That you both conclude that the only cons about an EV is the pricing, right? Be it infrastructure cost or direct like buying a vehicle, cost of buying a vehicle. Only this is the con for Indians. I believe if you come to the handling of EV, if you don't like in the environment in India, the way we use like our household batteries, in the batteries we use in inverter, there are certain incidents within which have happened in the household to improper handling of EV batteries. They need to replace these batteries quite often, like very frequently. And even in EVs, I feel like if the handling is not good, if I would not say like I feel, because they have also said that they handle, they will need a replacement in every 4 to 5 years. And if in EV we gonna replace batteries in such a short period of span of time, we need to that cost will increase. One thing. Second, production of we gonna use multiple batteries, and production of batteries where in industry we during the production we already cause a decent amount of harm during the production, and like some have already said, like the initial process of this developing batteries or manufacturing batteries causes harm to the environment. And if we batteries in such a way will cause the harm.
Yeah, so Sandeep, I understood your point, but don't you think that the prices can be because of the economies of scale? Like if we consider a prototype of a vehicle, the main cost component is, attributed to the semiconductor part, which is the basically chipsets and the motors and the batteries. So recently, Vedanta has done a lot of investments towards the chipset industry, and we can expect that India has to import less in the future, which will bring down the cost of electric vehicles considerably. Regarding the pollutions, which is done by the vehicle, battery, which you talked about, don't you think that the pollutions caused by the IC vehicles are more than the electric vehicles? And will be in a better if we'll use the electric vehicles because given that it still contributes to the pollution, the level of pollution which it will contribute is still far less than what the IC vehicles would have contributed had it been put to use. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's what my take is.
in a general way, like the lifespan of the batteries in the EV, we have seen that generally people are able to use batteries for 10 or 10 plus years, life generally. But and if we are able to use batteries for such a long time, yeah, then EVs are very good compared to that like the IC engines which uses diesel and petrol. I was concerned when of the scenarios when due to mishandling we and there are in people are, you already know what is the literacy rate in India, how much people know how to handle batteries, how to charge them, and how to get a better life from a battery. They are not that aware of it, and due to that, the lifespan of battery gonna decrease significantly. If the lifespan of this decrease, we gonna in just the same span of time, and that may cause to more damage. But in general, because it's like if we better in future, if people are aware of how to use batteries, yeah, we can get more output, and from the bat we can reduce the damage to environment.
Let's about how like if people are aware how we can handle the batteries, how we can use it, then it will be more efficient to work with EV. And many researches has been also done replace the lithium batteries to solid ion batteries because batteries are more comfortable to work with rather than the lithium batteries. So in the coming future, or we can say in the coming years, we can see the battery which is different from the lithium, or are the version of lithium which are very handled easily. So we are focusing on making best use of these batteries, and that will be considered.
Okay, that was a good new point. I was on this battery.
Yeah,
Yeah,
solid
and
state
moving.
batteries. They are in research.
Yeah, so as the topic is on the pros and cons, I should explore some more cons. So is regarding the child labor. Don't know if many of you know about this, but the majority of the lithium battery production is done in basin, and it was in news recently that many of the child rights are violated during that particular process because Africa was, employing many of the child laborers for production of their electric vehicles, which was exported to the world, various parts of the world. So don't you think that if a particular person purchases an electric vehicle, he drives it, doesn't it feel unethical for him to do so? Because the battery which is fitted in the car is being produced by some child whose rights are exploited. So just a food for thought. I would be eager to know your take on this matter.
So, Akash, I agree with you that it's an ethical issue, but the thing is that while talking about petrol or any kind of fuel, these things happen in a similar way in all the cases. Like the lithium ion you talked about, yeah, the child labor and human trafficking, and these are some issues that the government should take in care of. But the thing is that if we compare this same the similar things happening in the market. I don't think it's a pro or a con itself because it's a plain thing with both of the cases.
Yeah, I would agree with Deepan because I think this child labor is a social issue. It is not. This social issue can be due to when we often burn crackers in Diwali. Child labors happen in that for making crackers. If you go to any hotel or a line hotel, you get food over there. And that food is quite cheap. But back there, you don't know. Like if you go in what is happening at the back, child labor is being used in like washing dishes and variety of purposes. So it happens in almost most of the fields. So it is a social. It's not a specific like EV.
I agree with you, Sandeep.
This discussion is really getting interesting.
Both of-
So I would like to also jump. So regarding your point of child labor, I see that or if some established companies is given thing, let's say lithium or any mineral out of an ore, then established companies have audits. So if established companies are given those tasks, there will be this issue will be solved in a very small span of time. Also, the way technology and automation is increasing, child out be a very costly solution, and very soon machines will be deployed to do this processing. More points from my side. First that I could think of is that long distances do not work neither in relationship nor in electric vehicles. So I have seen that I have visited Ola showrooms and I have seen that let's say if there is a scooty, Ola scooty, then its range won't be over 60 kilometer, 80 kilometer, or at most 100 kilometers. Whenever I have to visit my village, I have to visit approximately 105 or 150 kilometers. So we made this decision at our family that we are not going for EV vehicles because range, that is definitely a price point, is definitely a range is something that restricts Indian consumers because we have a very high range of mobility. We have to travel to a longer distances and it is not effective at this point of time.
Okay, so
So,
okay, I'm Kundan. So I would like to add on the range thing. So definitely the range consciousness is there in the market, and it should be there. Like as a consumer, like we want to go far, and we don't have to like think about it. So the main problem here, I would say, is the infrastructure. Like we cannot find the charger like in a space that we are going. So that would be the problem of infrastructure. So I think it would be quite a task to like create such a big infrastructure uh, like in the remote village.
understandable. Right now,
So I would say like for the contrary side, like it's possible for the big cities like Delhi and Mumbai where the population is like drastically high. You can definitely have infrastructure and like the what do you say, like the petrol engine vehicles could slowly pan out from the mainstream market, and EVs can replace them very slowly as people understand and
Kundan, I
adopt.
can definitely understand that. But as of 2023 ka beginning, there is around 1700 electrical charging points in India. Those are powered
Yeah,
by Ather Energy, Ola, then
yeah,
Magenta, Tata Power, these kind of companies. 1700 is a very few number. It
yeah.
is a number that
Considering
should
India,
be there in a state. It is there
yeah,
in whole India. The
yeah.
number will is definitely going to increase, but at this point of time, that is something which restricts us from using electrical power.
Definitely. Like I have to buy the vehicle, then I cannot consider an EV right now. A remote charging issue and all that.
I would
I would
like
say
to,
like
yeah,
okay,
carry on,
okay.
please. Please carry on.
Yeah, like basically my point is like those who don't have to travel that long and they are living in cities, they could start the adoption first, I would say, basically.
So, Kundan, talk about the point, range anxiety in cities. Basically, I come from a small city. The majority of people I know work inside that city. Like there is a certain portion that to a different city in a week or maybe every day also to conduct their business or anything. The thing is that there still is a considerable amount of people in the same city, and which is a small city. So basically, I come from Rohtak, with a small city, and inside in Rohtak, basically, if you have a range of maybe 40 kilometers, you can go from a point A to point B, which has which can you can basically pan out the whole city in 40 kilometers. So like I don't think that point that you made, that the only big cities are like big advantages, but I think that there's a very viable option, just because example, I recently bought a EV, and which is a two wheeler. So it was from she has a government job, and which is inside the city, and there are numerous people that have a similar job and do a similar thing in a small city. And for her, and the range that she's of 90 kilometer, and the 90-kilometer range for her is too much. She does not want she like there is no need for 90 kilometer for her, but the option of 90 kilometer is there. 90 to 120 kilometer is also there if we take up Ola also. So like I don't think that the range anxiety in a smaller city is actually a problem. I see that as a problem of the big cities. Actually, the thing is, I have lived in Noida as well, and Noida and NCR is a vast thing. So people regularly go from Gurgaon to Delhi to Noida to Ghaziabad or Faridabad, whatever, and the distances between those places like 60 kilometers, 50 kilometers, and then they have to come back. So they need at least 100-kilometer range in their vehicle to move basically these distances. So like I think that macro cities are more preferable for EV rather than the big cities. And
The
also
problem with the smaller cities is it much infrastructure of charging stations. So let's say if you go from point A to point B and there is no electrical charger, the electrical charging station there is not working, then it definitely creates anxiety that you have to go to some other region or some other far off place to get the charging. Basically, the home charger that is there, that is not that much capable for most of the households in the smaller cities. So dependency on the charging stations and the lack of charging stations definitely create an issue over there.
I would like to
Okay.
I would beg to
Okay.
differ from this particular issue is the cost of convenience we are paying. Like I would like to resonate this particular scenario with that of the UPI, which India was facing few years back. And UPI can many people showing resistance towards that, and then regarding its applicability in the market as a whole. But now we can see that many people are applying UPI day-to-day businesses, and we can expect the same to happen. I know that charging station is a big thing regarding considered the infrastructure part, but if we adapt to this and if consumers are aware of their driving ranges and ply the vehicles for their day-to-day uses, not for long term, then we can expect this problem overcome by the government initiatives because there is a rule in India that for every 5 to 10 kilometer diameter there should be a petrol pump, and same thing can be enforced regarding the charging stations as well in the years to come. So I'm quite same, and I believe
Yeah,
that
like on
this
that
won't be a
point,
problem with the law.
I would like to add one point. Like
Kundan,
Bharat
very
Petroleum.
sorry, but I have to put a hard stop here
Okay, okay,
because
okay.
time is already over. I would definitely request you, any of you would like to go for the conclusion? Please attempt it. It's difficult, but
Okay,
it gives you a chance to evolve.
I try.
Definitely, Kundan.
Like we've kind of seen like from a year on year basis. I have seen the data that adoption is there in people. Like people are adopting EVs on a regular basis. Challenges as a consumer, I'm talking about, like not from the back end point of view, but basically as a consumer faces would be the infrastructure, how like they can get what they can get, how to use. So it would be a challenge. And like for the pros part, I would say the what do you say, the obvious problem it could solve is emissions that just creates the pollution around us. So that could be the problem that it would solve. Second factor, the cost. I would say the cost is for a person it manageable if we can just charge at home or even like use it properly basically, or like would be the range and be more conscious about in a in the way of making the decision. Another point would be the choice. I think Indian consumers don't have that much of choice in like as compared to a petrol vehicle. There are not many companies that are attempting. And second is the buy as compared to a petrol vehicle. So it's also valid. I think.
Okay.
I think that's I could come up with.
It's completely fine. Yeah. Let's have a quick poll, more competitive. So here is the options at your screen. Fastest finger first. Have all of you voted? And results. Wow, great, yeah. Akash, you have got most number of votes. Then Kundan, different number of votes, and it's very competitive. So I think, well done, everyone. That's it for this session. Let's meet you in another session. Bye bye, everyone.